Testing, testing. All right, we are hot. Testing, testing. One, two, three. Oh, negative. We're not live yet. Why did it stop? What the hell happened? Testing, testing. One, two, three. If you can hear me, somebody say something or type something. As usual, we will start at the 5 minute mark. Let everybody get in, get seated, get your notebooks ready, take some notes. I'm semi on time today. I'm only 5 minutes late, so that's actually good for me. Um, Again, we'll start at the 5 minute mark. If you are here, if you can hear me, just say something, type something, be greatly appreciated. Hope everybody's having a good weekend, a safe weekend. I had to work today, so I'm tired as hell. So please forgive me if I yarn or doze off during the broadcast. I promise you, I'm not bored with you. I'm just tired. So I will wait again. If you're listening later on, you just go ahead and skip ahead to the 5 minute mark. That's when church begins. Alright, I guess no one's here yet. So I will give people a little bit more time to hop on, hop in. If not, I guess I'm going solo tonight. Oh, man. It's been a long freaking day. Start up in about 3 minutes. Just counting it down. I'm going to learn to sing so I can start singing during the first 5 minutes of the broadcast. Or maybe I should just get some music and play that shit. That's a good idea. I'm going to start doing that. Pretty sure I'll get sued for copyright infringement. But I like to live dangerously. Alright. Yet about another. Alright, Tony's in the house. What's going on, Chief? Go ahead and handle your game business. I don't even know what the hell PSO2 is, but handle it. Start up in about 2 minutes. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to start doing that. What's up, Chris? Yeah, I'm gonna have to put some music in the beginning. I gotta figure out how to play it or what I'm gonna put on or something. I don't know. I gotta do something. Cause yeah, I'm sure you guys are tired of just listening to nothing for the first 5 minutes. So I will try to put some music on or figure out something to hype it up, get ready. If anybody's actually in, well, I know a couple people are in. Do we know how many people are here? Because I can't see shit. Yeah, I'll I'll definitely throw something on. I'll try to start next week, put some music on. You just have to tell me if the shit's too loud or something. Alright, so I guess it's Chris and Tony. Haha! A guy church tonight. Yeah! Alright, we're gonna start up in about 45 seconds. Get this show on the road. I'll start throwing music on in the beginning. Try to figure this shit out somehow. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'll figure this shit out. Oh, okay, if I have to play music and just put the microphone next to it. That way you don't have to hear just nothing but rambling for the first 5 minutes. All right, 20 seconds. No, man, it's hard for me to catch UFC because I never even think about it. To be honest with you. All right, hello. This is Saint Patrick. Welcome to the Church of Fuck You. Um, Tonight actually, I wanted to do something a little interesting, a little off the beaten path, and I'm gonna try to make it lighthearted as possible. But this is something that's actually just been irritating me or plaguing me for a while. Um, Morals. There are certain morals or creeds or laws or however you want to call it that people live by in this world, and everybody has their own morals, and that's fine. I mean, I really don't knock other people's morals, but there's a huge problem when it comes to morals. And I believe the biggest issue is when it comes to morals is everybody has their own definition of what is right and what is wrong. Um, Typically that's okay. I mean, for the most part, I really don't have a problem with somebody feeling what's right and what's wrong. The problem is when people try to dictate other people's lives by their own set of rules or laws or morals or principles that they live by, and that's where the biggest fucking issue comes in. You see it a lot of times with religion, and I don't want to just harp on religion all night because it's not just religion that does this shit. It's a lot of different, I guess, bodies, a lot of different, um, I guess, groups of people that display their own roles. Now, we'll get the easy ones out the way because I think all people or majority of the people agree on different things. Like, you obviously shouldn't be a pedophile. You shouldn't kill people. You shouldn't rape people. You shouldn't steal. You shouldn't, I guess, lie. But a lot of that shit goes out the window sometimes. Um, and I mean, if you lived in this world more than 5 years or 10 years, you probably have seen or heard of every moral that people, or the moral code that people live by, has been broken by one person or another. So this is where it gets really interesting, at least for me, because I'm gonna just tell you really fast what I live by, and this is my moral compass. Um, I have three things that I live by, and it seems to, I mean, it seemed to get me pretty far. So it have seemed to get me so far good in this life, if that makes any sense. I know I'm saying that shit wrong, but I apologize. I'm Russian. Um, it has gotten me to this point in my life. My life is pretty good. I don't have a lot of issues that other people have, even though everybody has their own fucking issues. And some people may think I'm crazy or whatever the case may be, and that's fine. But that's whatever. Um, but there's three things that I live by. The first thing I live by is, I mean, I guess everybody has this own rule or principle or whatever. It's just do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Now, that's just me personally. I know some people say that shit, but they really don't actually think it or do it or, follow it or whatever. But that's one of my biggest things is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. If you don't want people to, fuck with you, then don't fuck with them. If you don't want people to, steal from you, then don't steal from them. If you want people to, punch you in the face for no reason, then don't fucking punch them in the face for no reason. If you don't want your daughter to be raped, and don't rape somebody else's daughter. Just like, to me, that encompasses every fucking thing. You can put every rule you have in the world and simplify it just with that one simple, I guess, principle. Is that just doing, if you don't want it done to you, don't fucking do it to someone else. That's just, it to me, is as easy as that. You can take every religion you have, and obviously take out a lot of the crazy shit that I think is crazy. You can take all that shit out and just literally put that one line in there, and that would help so many fucking people. Especially when it comes to Christians and Muslims, it's definitely Muslims. If you don't want people blowing your shit up, then don't fucking blow people's shit up. If you don't want to have somebody else's religious beliefs forced upon you, then don't force your religious beliefs upon other people. So I think that's the easiest thing you can live by. And me personally, that is my number one rule. I don't really fuck with people. Well, I fuck with people as far as like talking shit on the internet or whatever the case may be. But I generally don't fuck with people. I'm even kill. I stay to myself, semi. Um, but you get the fucking point. Just do, just don't be a dick to the world, and the world won't be a dick to you. Just as simple as that. That's my number one. And I think if a lot of people, again, if a lot of people live by that creed, a lot of people live by that code, the world will be so much simpler. It would be so much easier. Everything would just fucking flow beautifully. My second one that I live by um, is accept the consequences of your actions. And that's another thing that I don't think the world actually lives by. Everyone has a reason or an excuse. I'm going to say everyone. Too many people have a reason or excuse why shit happens, and it's never their fucking fault. And that irritates the fuck out of me. Accept the consequences of your actions. If you fuck up, if your consequences means you have to deal with something for 20 fucking years, then guess what? You have to eat that shit for 20 fucking years. If you don't want to eat it, if you feel like it's wrong or unfair, then how about this? Don't do it in the first fucking place. Because different different actions have reactions. Different things that you do have different consequences. You may punch one person and they may cry and go home. And you may punch somebody else and 6 weeks later they come back and beat your ass with a baseball bat. You know, there's no one set response to something that you may do. So me personally, that's obviously why I live by my number one rule. And what's up, Brian? I'm glad you made it. That's why I live personally by my number one rule of doing to others as you have them doing to you. But the second rule, which is most importantly, is take you just have to accept the consequences of your actions. Whatever the fuck you did, whatever the fuck you do, you have to accept the consequences. And to me, again, if more people live by just that one rule, obviously with the first rule, or just those two rules, then the world would be a better fucking place. And personally, me, I cannot stand the fact how everybody has a fucking excuse or a fucking, you know, reason as to why shit happens. Fuck your reasons. We don't care. If you go and you kill 7 people, I don't want to hear about your religion. I don't want to hear about your childhood. I don't want to hear about how, your dad was or your mom was or how you were bullied in school. Fuck all that. You did something, accept the consequences. I don't want to hear excuses. And I think that to me is where we need to start moving towards as far as a society. Um, is that we need to get away from just the bullshit excuses. All the reasons why shit happened. Murderers kill. It might be in their DNA, or or they had a really horrible upbringing, or yeah, there's a lot of fucking people who had a horrible upbringing. They didn't kill anyone. There's a lot of people who had a shitty parents. They didn't go out and fucking mass murder people or go out and become a criminal or whatever the case may be. Sorry. Hey, Brian, much love to you, man. Sorry, I had to come. I apologize. But that irritates. It literally that drives me fucking bananas. Stop making excuses for why shit happens and why you did what you did. Just fucking own it. And that's the third thing. Um, and that's the third thing that I feel is my number one creed is that take responsibility for what you do, whether it's good or bad. Now I know number one and number two are kind of the same, but to me it's a little different because responsibility it extends beyond the consequences. Responsibility is that if you do something, you can accept it, but you can do shit about it. Take responsibility for what you do. Make this shit right. Do whatever you need to do to own up to what you did. And I think if we start there, just those three basic principles: do unto others as you have them do unto you, accept the consequences of your actions, and take responsibility for your actions. I think the world will actually start to move in a much, I want to say, friendlier and nicer environment for all kids to grow up in. And I think that's one of the things that we need to start teaching our kids, because there are a lot of kids who don't have those principles. There are a lot of kids who do shit and it's immediately someone else's fault, and it's immediately well, the teacher didn't like me, or the bus driver was being mean, or well, those kids started it, those kids say it first. And um those kids said it first, or it's always some bullshit. And now, and I've noticed this a lot. A lot of parents are immediately jump to the kid's defense. Like, they immediately jump to the defense of, well, well, my kid isn't wrong because all these other kids were throwing paper, and you should just single out my kid. And it's like, no, fine, everyone else is doing it, but your kid was doing it too. So your kid has to accept the consequences of their actions. Just if we start there, just with those simple, basic principles, yes, the world will be a much better place. Christian philosophy, no. I wouldn't go that far because I really want to stay away from religion. But since you want to bring it up, Mr. Cox, I will just go there. That was one of my biggest issues when it came to Christianity, is that no one, well, the people in my area, I can't speak for all Christians, but there were a lot of Christians that I were around who never accepted responsibility, who never accepted they never accepted the consequences of their actions, and they never were responsible. It was always, oh, well, Satan made me do it, or that was a demon, or I was in my flesh for a moment, but now I'm back to being saintly, so none of that counts. Or oh, well, Jesus forgave me, so if Jesus forgave me, then you need to forgive me too. Um, Jesus forgave me, so what I did doesn't matter anymore. It's in the past, and it's like, no, you fucker. No, you just can't. I mean, it's like literally to me, and I'm not saying I witnessed this or this actually happened, but it just felt like the people I were around, they could come up to you and smack the shit out of you. And you turn around and like, dude, what the fuck? And you're like, okay, well, I'm sorry, Jesus. And okay, well, you can't be mad anymore because I said I'm sorry to Jesus, and now you can't be mad anymore. And it's like, no, fucker, my face is still red. I'm punching you back in the face. So it's like, that's the problem. And yeah, I mean, some people may feel like those aren't real Christians, but the problem is, in my personal opinion, there are too many Christians like that. There are too many Christians who, will throw Jesus out there and say Jesus and do some really fucked up shit and then run back to say, oh, I'm talking about Jesus again. Oh, Jesus is my savior, so you can't be mad at me. And then all of a sudden, people who are angry at them for being, how the fuck they are, all of a sudden it's, well, you're just mad at me because you are in your flesh, or, you don't accept Jesus the way I accept Jesus, and you don't know Jesus the way I know Jesus, and I'm gonna pray for you. And it's like, I will fuck you up. Like, seriously, like, and that just, it irritates the fuck out of me. And Tony, I'm glad, because I'm glad I'm not alone. Well, I'm okay. Well, if you're alone and you're happy, that's fine. But I'm glad I'm not alone in those little set principles. Um, that's just my personal thing. And like I say, when it comes to the whole moral issue, this is where the whole moral issue starts to completely go off the rockers. Because here's the thing that I really wanted to talk about tonight. Um, I don't care what morals you live by. I really don't. Obviously, if it hurts someone else, or if it infringes on someone else's rights, Dragon Man, glad to see you. But if it infringes on someone else's rights, or it hurts someone else, then yes, that's an issue, and I think that should be an issue for anyone. But if you feel like you don't want to eat meat because it's a moral issue for you, that's fine. You cannot eat meat because it's a moral issue for you. But if you want to start passing laws and creeds and make everyone else feel like shit because they do eat meat, then that's where the problem comes in at. And now that's where the whole moral issue comes in. It's because you can believe whatever the fuck you want to believe. I have no issue with that. As you guys can see, I have people here, and I have people in the church, which surprised the hell out of me. I have people in the church who are Christian. I have people in the church who are Muslims, which I really didn't think was going to happen. But I have all different kinds. Obviously, I have a ton of atheists, ton of agnostics. I have a ton of different people. So like literally, I can get along with everybody. I understand everybody. I respect everybody's beliefs. I have certain things that I have, problems with. I have certain qualms with certain people's beliefs. But I don't mind what you believe. My issue comes in, and I think everybody else's issue should come in, is when you start forcing your beliefs upon other people. When you start forcing your morals upon other people. Where you decide to tell other people what you feel is right and wrong, and that they should live by it. And that's where the issue comes in. That's where the issue comes in with morals. Because I don't care what no one says. You can feel like your morals. I mean, some people. Okay, fine. Let me rephrase this. Some people morals come from God. Some people morals come from life experiences, like mine. I've experienced life. I experienced what works, what doesn't work, what we should do, what we shouldn't do. And I understand we have our problems. But I'm gonna get back to you, Brian. Give me 1 second. Um, shit, I forgot my train of thought. God damn it. Sorry. I understand that we all, have our own beliefs and our own, you know, own desires of what we feel, and we all obtain those from different ways. We've either attained them from our parents, or we actually attained them just from trial and error. We attained them from some religious beliefs that we feel like, we should believe, and this is what God said we should do, or this is what my spirit says we should do. However you obtain your morals, and that's great. I'm glad you have them. But the issue comes in is that your right and wrong doesn't mean it's right and wrong for everyone. It's just right and wrong for you. And if you want to raise your kids according to your right and wrong, that is your personal business. I feel like no one should ever have the right or the authority to come over to tell you how you should raise your kids according to your beliefs. But the problem is when you want to start raising the neighbor's kids to your beliefs, then we have a fucking issue. People, and this is where I guess, and it happens even with atheists too, so don't think I'm just, singling out religious people. People have a tendency to think that because they think something is wrong, that the entire world should think something is wrong. And it just doesn't work that way. And what the battle that I find I'm literally fighting like fucking crazy now is I have an issue when it comes, and honestly, this is, I ain't gonna say all atheists, but it's atheists and Christians and everyone included. The battle that I have, that I'm trying to literally fight on a regular basis, is that your right and wrong doesn't dictate everyone's life. And in order for you to quote unquote be a free thinker and to be a a person of whatever faith or non-faith or whatever the fuck you want to call it, in order to be a free thinker and accept everyone, you have to accept the fact that some people have different morals than you do. And people don't fucking get it. They really don't get it. They don't get that people have different morals. They don't understand why some people have to pray 5 times a day. They just think it's funny. They laugh at them. And they call them names, or they say it's stupid, or whatever the case may be. You don't have to accept it. I'm sorry, you don't have to fucking do it. No one's saying you have to pray 5 times a day, but at least have respect for the person who feel like they should. And as long as it's not infringing upon your rights, as long as like he's not on an airplane and he's like, okay, fuck this shit, I can't, um, fuck this shit, I can't fly the plane right now because I have to go pray. All right, dude, now we have a fucking issue. But if he's at home minding his fucking business, what business of it is yours that he has to pray? What business of it is yours that he has to do whatever he needs to do? And it goes vice versa. The same with atheists. I find some religious people, they find it, appalling that they don't believe in God. And they find it like downright appalling that, they don't believe or answer to a higher power. And it's like, that's your thing. You don't have to accept it. I'm sorry, you don't have to like it, but at least respect the fact that somebody has a different belief or a different, I guess, moral compass than you do. You feel like you have to pray to a God, you have to go to a church, you have to, give your money, and you have to dress up on Easter and all this other shit that you feel you have to do. That's fine. That's your thing. But, and I stress this strongly, but don't be a dick to other people because they don't accept what you accept. Because again, when it comes down to morals, I think everybody should have just an easy short term. Sorry, not short term. An easy short and compass thing. Like I say, mine is 3. Now, however you want to fit that shit in there, you can fit that shit in there. But it's just 3. Everything else can be a compass in that. Now, when you get outside of that, then that is the fucking issue. Because it comes into the point where, okay, these people believe you shouldn't eat meat. Well, I believe you should eat meat. So now we're just going to go and back and forth and punch you and throw names and all this other shit. What the fuck? Like, to me, it is really, really, really fucking stupid, just from the standpoint is that we're arguing and we're going through but we're going back and forth over shit that is personal. It's personal to you. It's not personal to someone else. And where the big issue comes in is when we start trying to pass laws on your personal beliefs. That's where the whole fucking abortion thing comes from. If you feel like you don't want to have an abortion, don't fucking have an abortion. You don't have to. But you should not dictate what someone else can do with their body or their or quote unquote their child or their fetus or whatever the fuck you want to call it. That's where my issue comes in. We're passing laws now on what people, mind you, people feel is right and wrong. And these are the same fucking people or the same type of people who at one point didn't mind slavery. This is the same type of people. And I'm not saying the actual people. I'm just saying people in general. These are people who slaughter and kill and do everything they want to in the name of whatever religion or non-religion or whatever power or non-power or whatever they want. And it gets really fucking, I want to say, irritating to me is that people are setting the rules that they feel other people should live by. They're dictating these rules. And again, I'm sorry, go ahead, Brian, ask your question. I'm gonna keep going while you type. Um, we're setting rules, we're setting laws, we're setting all this shit of what our neighbors should live by. And to me, it's just fucked up. What's up, Simply Deep? Um, And that's where I guess my whole big issue comes in with morals. Is that stop trying to dictate someone else's life by your fucking beliefs. As long as you're not harming someone else, as long as you're not impinging on someone else's rights, who gives a fuck what you do? And that goes for everybody. Yes, I can't stand fucking Republicans, some Republicans, who feel like, homosexuality is the worst thing in the fucking world. Are you serious? Like, that is they will lose fucking sleep worried about who is fucking who. Who the fuck cares? Who has time? Like, if you work at 9 to 5 and you have your family, you have your kids, you have a fucking life, you don't give a shit what your neighbor's doing. You don't give a shit what, who's fucking who. Because who has the fucking time? Worry about your own shit. If you feel like it's wrong, then fine. You don't do it. But you shouldn't dictate what somebody else does because you feel like it's wrong. If I feel like it's wrong for, a 7-foot tall person to date a 4-foot tall person, should I be able to, write laws and be like, there's a height requirement on marriage, you have to be within a certain height? No, because it's none of my fucking business. The same way with these other people. It's none of their fucking business. I'm sorry, really fast. If a woman can have an abortion because she has the right to do with her body she wishes, why can't a man be in a future? That honestly is a good question. I fucking don't know. And truthfully, that's where the hypocrisy comes in with a lot of shit. And if you guys aren't reading what he's saying or you're listening later, his question is, if a woman can have an abortion because she has a right to do with her body as she wishes, why can't a human being, man or woman, do drugs? I don't personally. The whole drug thing was, to me, it's just a political bullshit. It's complete political. That actually came up where I was listening to a story, and apparently, I guess very few people knew this. It was that the CIA, I think it was the CIA, actually started making deals with the drug cartels to bring drugs into the country. So, yeah, this was actually something that was helped perpetrated by the government, and then the government went to the whole war on drugs to try to get rid of it and try to get rid of everybody, which was the biggest fucking joke ever. But most people really didn't pay attention to it because they were all wrapped up in what Bill Clinton was doing with Monica Lewinsky, so it kind of went over everyone's head. But it was a huge fucking deal. I mean, it really was a huge fucking deal that the government brought in drugs and then they want to lock everybody up for doing drugs. It's like, are you fucking serious? But I don't know. But again, that's the hypocrisy of it, which I always try to point out in everything that I fucking do, is just why I get so fucking irritated. There's a lot of hypocrisy, especially in the whole fucking moral code. Women should be able to do whatever they want with their bodies. But, okay, you know what? Don't even get me started on abortion. I can't stand the fucking topic. Not that I get angry at women having abortions because, again, you can do whatever you want to do with your body. That's your body. I just feel like, one, men generally don't have any rights when it comes to the whole fucking issue. So it's like, only right the man has is whether he wants his child support taken out twice a month or once a month. Um, and anytime a man decides he doesn't want the baby, he's labeled a piece of shit and a no good father, and you shouldn't have had sex, and you knew what was going to happen, and fuck you, and all this other stuff. But when the mother doesn't want to have the baby, it's, oh, that's just amazing. She has her right to choose. So it's just like, to me, it's all bullshit. But again, back to the moral code. Um, like I said, the biggest issue is when you start passing laws, when you start trying to dictate what other people can do, when you start trying to dictate what other people can say or feel. And that's what, um, I guess, the whole issue comes in, again, with abortion, with gay rights, and, can gay people do certain things, and, can gay people get married, and gay people shouldn't have sex. And we have laws in the world. I mean, we have laws in, different states now where, sodomy is illegal and oral sex is illegal. Now, if oral sex is illegal, then I know a number of people who should be locked the fuck up immediately. But whatever. I mean, it's just like, to me, it's just get the. Why are you so concerned as a government, or as a government? Why the fuck are you so concerned if somebody is fucking somebody else? As long as it's consensual and as long as they're of age, you should not care. That's not your fucking job to dictate the bedroom. It's not your fucking job to dictate what people should and shouldn't do and what people can and can't do in the privacy of their own fucking home. And that goes as far as with me, as far as drugs as well. Um, when it comes to drugs, now obviously some of the hard stuff I tend to shy away from, because me personally, I've seen some of the effects of hardcore drugs, and it is not fucking good. It's really fucking not. But like, if you wanted to smoke weed, fucking smoke weed. Who cares? If you wanted to do certain recreational drugs, fucking do your drug. I mean, like, who the fuck cares? And the problem is, we have people in high places with this whole little, I don't know if it's a morality issue or getting votes issue or whatever the fuck it is, but they feel like they have a say-so over what other people do. And to me, that is the problem. When it comes to morals, when it comes to morality, when it comes to what you feel is right and wrong, you do not have the right to dictate other people's life. You should never feel like you are in the right or in the clear to dictate someone else's life and what they can do, and what they can do and what they can't do, or whatever the case may be. And I agree. I personally don't feel. I mean, I personally, feel like, hey, if you want to do heroin, you can do heroin all you want. If you want to do cocaine, you can do cocaine all you want. But again, coming from where I came from, I seen the impact on families, and that shit fucking sucks. Absolutely sucks. Because that shit is addictive. It does get in your, especially fucking cocaine and crack. People do some really fucked up shit to get the drug that they want. So I can understand the government as a safety issue saying, hey, we need to maybe put a hamper on this or clamp down or whatever the case may be. I can understand. I can kind of understand why the government does it. But again, back to the whole moral issue, it's kind of hard for me to say, hey, you can't do drug X, Y, and Z, and I smoke cigarettes. Because isn't cigarettes killing me as well? Doesn't alcohol kill people daily? Doesn't, different things kill? And it's like, this is what the government does. It's like, you can't have heroin, but you can get a prescription for opiates from your doctor as much as you want. And you can either take it, you can get Percocets, you can sell that shit on the street, you can do whatever you want to do, because this is the legal form of drug. And a lot of the legal form of drugs are worse than the fucking drugs that they've outlawed, because they don't want you to take it. Sorry, go ahead, Michael. You can ask your question. I am actually skimming the comments as I go, and I do apologize right now. I am skimming the comments as we go. So if I'm missing something, I do apologize. But yeah, Michael, go ahead and ask your question. As far as the impact on abortions, now actually I would. Now that would actually be pretty tricky though, because, and his question is, would I support a bill that only criminalizes distribution of drugs? Now I guess the question would be, how would people get the drugs if no one distributed it? Because as far as I know, I mean, I guess some people can set up their own meth lab, or they can set up their own, grow their own weed, or whatever the case may be. Where I mean, technically that could be okay, but do you really want meth labs all around the country? So I mean, that would kind of be tricky. Um, let me see. Um, I don't know. That would really, really, really be fucking tricky. Sorry, just thinking about that for a second. That would really be tricky. Um, and it's just, I don't know. Let me keep going. I'm sorry. Just to keep going, I am just really, 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 I don't know. I'm just really tired of the whole my way is right, your way is wrong. Get on my side, you're not on my side. I love it, and it actually goes both ways. Um, as far as a lot of shit that goes on in this world, Republicans are generally against abortion, but they are, because that child is a child. It's a life. It needs to be born. This is my moral code. You have to follow my rules. But as soon as the baby's born, it's like we're not taking care of your child. If you couldn't take care of the child, then it's fucking on you. So I guess their moral code only lasts between, I guess 7 to 9 months if the baby's premature, and after that, their moral code is out the fucking window because that's your child. You need to fucking feed it. Don't take my tax dollars to feed your fucking baby. You shouldn't have gotten fucking pregnant in the first fucking place, which I find extremely interesting because apparently it's a child that they care about and it's a child that they love so much until the child is born. Then it's like, fuck that kid, you're on your own. So yeah, that moral code again, it completely blows my fucking mind. I love how some Democrats feel like, Republicans need to be more accepting of people. They need to be more accepting. They need to be more accepting. You need to accept people for who they are and what they are, and stop labeling people and stop excluding people. And then then Democrats are like, "Fuck all Republicans. I hate all of them." And it's like, hold on, you want to include everyone except the people you don't like, but when other people do it, it's like, what the fuck is your problem? And it's like, to me, that's where it gets that's where the moral code or the morality becomes hypocritical for a lot of fucking people. Is that everyone wants people to live by their code, but no one wants to live by other people's code. Everyone wants to live, I want you to live by what I feel is right and wrong, but don't you force your shit on me because that is just inappropriate and I don't want that shit. Christians want people to live by the Christian code. And I'm not saying all, so don't take it as that. But Christians want people to live by the Christian code. You need to, I want to pray in school. I want to pray in church. I want to pray everywhere. God should be in everything. We need to pray as much as possible. We need to put God in everything. I should be able to say Jesus anywhere. I should be able to say Jesus everywhere. And, it's all about them. It's all about what they want. And they feel like, this is my religious freedom. I have the religious freedom. The First Amendment protects me, blah, 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 blah. But, like, as soon as a Muslim says something, it's like, get your fucking religion out of here. We don't want it. And it's like, hold on, time out, Skippy. If you want everyone to accept your religion for what it is and everyone to, openly welcome your religion, then shouldn't that be the first thing you do is welcome someone else's religion? Again, my moral code. Do unto others as you have them do unto you. You don't want people shitting on your religion, so why is it the first thing I see some Christians do is shit on other people's religion? And it's just, and a lot of times they're so fucking ignorant when they do it, fuck your Allah. What the fuck is an Allah? And it's just like, dumbass, it just means God. That's it. So you're pretty much saying fuck God trying to insult someone else. And it's the stupidest shit in the world. And again, atheists do it too. Everyone does this shit. And I'm sorry, not everyone, but every group does the same exact shit. We want people to accept what we feel is right. We want people to accept what we feel should be done. But when it comes to accepting other people's beliefs or comes to accepting other people's rights to be whatever they want to be, then it's like, shut the fuck up. And it's just, I don't understand it. I don't fucking get it. Now, we have people in this world who feel like, and I actually had this argument recently, but we have people like who feel like if a 13-year-old girl or a 14-year-old girl decides that I don't want to be a girl anymore, I want to be a boy, people should respect that. Because at 14, if you feel like you're not a girl, you're a boy, you should be allowed to identify yourself as a boy and change it to whatever the fuck you want to change to. But if this 14-year-old girl who decides she wants to be a boy, she can change. But if this 14-year-old girl decides to get married, then that's just bullshit. You can't get married because you're not old enough to make that kind of decision. So you are old enough to either, if you're a boy, you're old enough to chop your dick off and have a vagina, but you're not old enough to have sex. I mean, like, seriously? You you have the mental capacity to change an entire fucking gender, but you don't have the mental capacity to um get married. Now, I'm not saying I agree with people getting married at that age. That's not even the fucking issue. The issue is, look at the fucking moral code. And the problem is, we want everyone to live by what we feel is right. And the problem is, everyone don't feel the same fucking way you do. Because your book has different things that I don't agree with, or your parents taught you shit that I don't agree with. People may your people may feel like, we can do this or we can do that or whatever. Everyone has their own fucking issues. Everyone has their own points. Everyone has their own beliefs. And I'm sorry to keep repeating this, and I hope I don't sound like a fucking broken record, but I'm really trying to drill this, is that your beliefs don't dictate the fucking world. Another point. Um, pretty much the main. Oh, I'm sorry. Pretty much the main thing that I really wanted to drive home with this is that in order to be classified as a free thinker, in order to be classified as an acceptor, is that the first thing we have to do as a society is to accept the fact that everyone doesn't live by the same fucking rules. We just don't. And once we accept that, then everything becomes fucking easier because we become more tolerant. People want to push tolerance. Fine, let's push tolerance. If you want to push tolerance, the first thing you have to accept is we all don't play by the same fucking rules. We just don't. Now, again, if you have 3 basic rules, you can play by those 3 basic rules. Some people have more. You can't eat meat. You can't eat fish on you can't eat steak on Good Friday. You can't eat pork. You can't. Okay, fine. That's your fucking rules. Great. And generally, majority of people that have their own rules, they don't. I guess they don't. They don't push their rules on other people. But we have a shitload of people in this country, and I'm not saying all, but we do have a shitload of people in this country who feel like it's their job or it's their right, and I won't even say country, world. We have a shitload of people in this world who feel like it's their job and their right and their duty to their God or their country or whatever to push their agenda on everyone else. And if you don't accept their agenda, either you're labeled as a heathen or a sinner or just a piece of shit or anti-American or whatever the fuck they want to be labeled as, and they're just either chastised or put down, or in some countries you're fucking killed for not accepting a religious belief. When the fuck did we get to here? Why the fuck can't we just let people live as they want to live, do as they want to do, and not worry so fucking much about what the neighbor is fucking doing? As long as your neighbor is not killing kids or killing people or raping people or, running a fucking whorehouse next door, let them do what the fuck they want to do. Now, I wouldn't even have no problem with the whorehouse, except it might bring some unsavory people around, and I have kids. So we can't have that shit in the neighborhood. But again, you get the point. Let people do what the fuck they want to do. And once we get there, once we get to the place that, yes, and I'm sorry, once we get here, then we don't have to pass stupid ass laws like they just did in fucking Mississippi about, people have the right not to serve gay people cake if they don't want to serve a gay wedding. Why the fuck do you care who's eating the cake? Your job is to fucking make it. Your job is not to feed it to people. It's not like they're asking you to, plaster the cake on your body and they're going to fucking eat it off of you. They just ask you to make a fucking cake. You're a baker. That's your job. Do your fucking job. But no, now we have to have a whole fucking state pass a law to say that if you don't want to serve gay people, you don't have to serve gay people. Didn't we just come down this fucking road? Like, literally, what, 60 years ago? Haven't we just traveled this fucking road where if you don't want to serve black people, you don't have to serve black people? Now it's just replace the black with gay. I mean, really? They always say history repeats itself, and some people don't ever believe it, and some people, and the biggest, like one of the things that they say is that um, those who don't learn from history are destined to repeat it. Well, apparently, fucking the people in Mississippi either don't know their history or they haven't learned from it at all because they're just doing the exact same shit. They just took out blacks and put in gay, and now they just feel better about themselves. I just don't fucking understand it. Pedophiles. Okay, I don't understand where that came from. What if they're pedophiles? Who the fuck is a pedophile, and why are they making cakes? Um, and all right, now, all right, Mr. Bryan, we're gonna have an argument on this one. No, fine. Yes, it's the business right. If they don't want to do the order, that's fine. But we live in a society where if you're going to start a business or run a business, you have to, from the jump, with no mistakes or no nothing, you cannot turn away or turn down somebody because of their race, because of their religion, because of their skin color. Oh, I'm sorry, that's because of their race, religion, or sexual orientation. Or age. I think age is a problem too. Like you can't turn somebody down because they're old or whatever. Um, but just fine. If fine, yes. If the business doesn't want to place the order, they're right. Now fine. Now take out gay and put in something else. What if it was an atheist company who was like, fuck all Christians, we're not doing shit for Christians? Do you think that shit would fly in any fucking state? Like any fucking state in the US? And it's just, to me, I understand what you're saying. I really, really do. So don't think I'm just like discounting what you're saying. But the bigger principle here and the bigger issue here is that it's that company forcing their moral belief on other people. It has nothing to do with them wanting to serve and not to serve. It's that they're forcing their morality. You know, I feel icky if I serve. So if that's the case, if they don't want to serve gay people, will they not serve? I mean, and I'm assuming it's for religious beliefs, because that's what the whole thing is. They're not serving gay people for religious beliefs, because gay people are sinners. That's fine. It's their right. But are we just concluding all sins or just gay people? Because if you want to do for all sins, that means they can never serve anyone who has oh shit, let's go down the list. They can never serve anyone who's eaten shellfish, because that's a sin. They can never serve anyone who wears two types of cloth, like cotton and silk, because technically that's a fucking sin. They can't touch a woman ever on her menstrual cycle, because according to the Bible, she is the dirtiest person in the world. So they can never serve a chick who's on her period, because that's a fucking sin. Let's keep going. Anyone who's ever lied, because that's a sin. Anyone who's ever committed adultery, because that's a sin. But, and I can go on, and I understand that we're all sinners, but that's the fucking point. You can't just pick one fucking sin and say, I'm going to exclude everyone because of this one sin. And that's the issue. You can't just decide which sin you want to choose. And maybe that's where I guess they need to incorporate the law. If you want to do a law like that, then fine. They have the right to deny anyone because of sin, not just because of gay marriage. If you're going to pick a fucking sin, if you're going to pick one sin, why not pick one that encompasses everyone? If you ever fornicated, so if you're getting married before you had sex, then guess what? I'm not going to make you a cake. How many fucking cakes would they sell? Like, seriously, how many fucking cakes would they sell? If you ever committed adultery, if you're getting married for the second time, because according to the Bible, you know, no man should ever, a man should join with his wife, and no man should ever separate what God has joined together. So if someone's getting married for a second time, they should never make a fucking cake for those people either. And if Jesus died, quote unquote, by your book, if Jesus died for all of our sins, didn't he die for the sins of the gay people as well? So how are they excluded from the whole forgiveness and rapture and peace and love and all that other stuff? And again, this is my point. This is exactly my point. They're pushing their morality. They're pushing their fucking beliefs on other people. Now, yes, it would be simple. It would be extremely simple for them to go to another baker. And if that baker said, hey, I don't want to bake you a cake because you're gay or whatever the case may be, and they went to another baker and got a cake, that's fine. They're losing that business. But the problem is, and this is my opinion, the problem is you don't have a right to dictate other people's life. You just fucking don't. Because it's just me personally. If somebody came to my house and said, "Oh, well, I'm like, hey man, you know what? My toilet is fucking busted. I need you to fix my toilet. Can you please, hurry up and fix my toilet?" And he's like, "Well, you're black. I can't fix your toilet because you're a nigger. I gotta go." I mean, like seriously, or I'm married to a white woman. What if they say, oh well, you're an interracial couple. I don't support interracial couples, so no, I can't do anything for you. Now, yes, I can go ahead and be like, okay, well, fuck you, dude, get the fuck out. I can call another plumber. But why are you in business? Like, I don't understand the logic of it. Why are you in business? You're there to do a fucking job, not to put any fucking religious spin or any religious beliefs or any principle. Now, if the guy came in, um, if a guy came in and I'm like, hey, can you help me hold down this girl so I can punch her in the face? Then I can understand him having a moral issue. Because I'm asking him to do something that, again, would be against his moral code. I'm not asking you to do anything except fix the fucking toilet. They're not asking you to do anything except bake a fucking cake. Bake the fucking cake and let's move on. That's it. And again, that's where the fucking moral code comes in. That's where the moral code is a really bad problem. A really bad problem. Because people are taking it as their right and their way, and their excuse to act like fucking dicks because it's my moral code. No. Your moral code is for you, not for everyone else. Your job is not to push moral codes on other people. That's not your fucking job. If you're a plumber, if you come in there and they ask you to fix the toilet, it doesn't matter what their religion is. It doesn't matter what their sex is. It doesn't matter what their sexual preference is. It doesn't matter their age. It doesn't matter their skin color. You're just there to do a fucking job. That's it. Now, if I came to your church and you had a problem with it, fine, because the church is your place for your moral code. Then you could say, hey, we actually don't accept that here. There's another church down the street, blah, 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 whatever. Then you can do that. But again, at fucking work, and could you imagine anywhere else this shit would fly? I mean, like, seriously, like, just remove the gay. Just remove gay and put any fucking thing else in there. Could you imagine, like, if you worked at a doctor's office and someone came in and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, my moral code, you're too fat, I can't give you your test results. Because my moral code is people who are obese is very, very greedy, and I don't support greedy people. So I'm sorry, you're on your fucking own. I can't give you your test results. I mean, seriously. And again, that's the biggest fucking issue. That's the biggest issue. Um, oh, Brian, you're killing me. Hold on, man. Um, what is the difference between sin and evil? Well, I don't technically believe in sin. So, um, I could honestly, I really don't believe in sin at all. To me, that's one of my biggest issues with religion, is that religion is the biggest, I guess, religion is the only place where you have to apologize for being human. And I've said that before. Religion is the only place where you have to say, I'm sorry for having an evil thought or thinking evil things or doing something that God may feel like it's wrong. And I'm sorry, I can never feel like it's a sin to be fucking human. I'm going to get angry. I'm going to get irritated. I'm going to get mad. I'm going to do some shit that may not be the best. I may not feel like, I can do certain things. But me personally, I feel like I can't do them because it's me. But on the flip side of that, I'm sorry, man. Hold on, quick second. Okay, I may feel like I can't do certain things because I feel like I can't do them, but I would never not do them because I feel like there's a book or there's some kind of punishment waiting for me at the end of time or whatever the case may be. Because to me, it's all bullshit. It's just a scare tactic to get people to abide by whatever rules they want to abide by. And I just feel like it's all bullshit. And yes, I am human, though I am a saint. So please write that down. But yes, I am human. I am very much human. But I would never apologize to anyone for fucking being human. I would never apologize for holding a grudge or walking around pissed off. I would never apologize for, lusting after a female or doing anything fucking stupid to a god or a religious authority figure. Now, if I cheated on my wife, I would have to apologize to my wife. I'd have to apologize to God because I didn't cheat on a fucking god. Because I never committed myself to a god. If I did something fucked up to someone, I would have to apologize to someone. I have to apologize to some figure who, quote unquote, lords over my life. And I think that's where I would never apologize for being human. I would never apologize for fucking up. I will apologize to the person if I fucked up to that person. But I'm not going to apologize for just for being fucking alive and doing what humans do. Um. All right, let me keep going. So that's my whole issue with the moral code. And I said all that honestly just to say is that, again, we as people, if we ever can get to the point where we start looking at ourselves and understand understanding that people have different morals and different beliefs and different principles that they live their life by, then maybe we can start being more understanding. Maybe we can start being more accepting. Maybe we can start doing things better as a society and as a country and as a world when we realize that people have different standards of life than we do. And it's not that their standards are bad or worse or whatever. Now, obviously, some people have some really fucked up beliefs, and that's fine. But if they came into the fold and if they start to realize that, hey, just because this person is not Muslim doesn't mean he's my enemy. He's trying to kill me and, he's trying to dishonor Muhammad and, he's all praise Allah. Let's kill all of them. No. Calm down, Skippy. What we're trying to do, if we can get everybody on board to say, okay, fine, I worship Muhammad, this guy worship Jesus, but hey, we're in the same fucking boat. This guy doesn't worship anything, but hey, he's okay. He's not doing anything harmful. He just has a different belief than I do, but he's still a fucking person. He's still a fucking human. He's still, trying to go to work and come home and feed his kids and feed his family and do everything he needs to do or everything she needs to do. And once we get to that point, then all this other bullshit can go out the window. You can have your religion. You can have your atheist. You can have your agnostic. I'm saying that word so fucking wrong. Agnostic. You can have, the people who believe in spiritual things like Buddhists and everything. You can have all of that existing peacefully once everyone starts to realize that everyone has different standards that we live by. Yes, you feel like you can never kill a bug. I feel like if a bug comes into my house, he invaded my fucking territory and he is toast. And that's fine. Because to me, it's a bug. To you, it's a creature that whatever. Okay, but again, that's fine. It's my thing. If you want to come in my house and get the fucking bug out, you're more than welcome. But either way, he's fucking getting out of here. And once we get to that place, once we reach that point, that pivotal point in society where we all respect each other's beliefs, whether we feel that it's where we really feel like it's right, I'm sorry, whether we feel like their way is right, it's none of our concern. We have to accept it. And yes, and I actually feel that is really the fucking case. And I agree with John, is that we do have this caveman mentality. We do have this mentality that we're right, you're wrong, you must see it our way, and if you don't, there's something wrong with you. And we're going to do everything we can to get you on board with us. So we're going to prophesize to you, and we're going to pray for you, and if not, we're just going to fucking kill you. Really? If you don't believe what we believe, we're just going to call you all different kinds of names to put you down and make you feel like shit. Because if we make you feel like shit enough, then you'll want to be a part of our in crowd, and then you'll want to turn and you'll start to believe. No. People don't have to think how you think. That's the wonderful thing about this world. People don't have to think the way you think. And actually, one of the things that I find interesting is how it comes down to facts. And I read an article on this, and I think I said this before, so if I did, I apologize and repeat it again. But people have a different perception of facts. To Christians, Jesus dying is a fact. It's an absolute 100% fact. To Muslims, Muhammad is a fact. An absolute fact. To some atheists, or I assume the majority of the atheists, evolution is a fact. It's a scientific fact. Can't fucking argue it. And the problem is, once we start arguing our own facts, this is where all the fucking debates come in, and this is where all the anger comes in, because we're arguing our version of fact. And people say, well, I only argue facts. Well, to them, it's a fucking fact. And once you start realizing this, and once you get into the mindset that these people believe it so much, like Muslims believe in their shit so much that they are willing to kill themselves over it. Like, they're literally willing to kill other people and themselves over it. In their brain, whatever the fuck they believe, it's a fucking fact to them. So people need to stop the whole, well, I only argue facts, and show me facts. Show me facts that God is real, or show me facts that God isn't real. Because everyone has their own version of a fucking fact. And unfortunately, some things you don't know until you fucking die. No one knows if God is real. You can believe it, and that's your fact. Some people will never believe it, and that's their fact. But arguing some shit that neither one of you fucking people can prove is just fucking stupid. So how about just disband the fucking argument? Get rid of the fucking argument. Like, seriously. Get rid of it completely. Stop arguing shit like that, because you will never fucking change the person. You will never change someone's fact in their brain. So how about we just do away with the whole fucking argument? And I'm not even talking about, I'm actually skimming the conversations now. So, I'm not even talking about this particular conversation. The only problem is that everyone has their own beliefs. Everyone has their own facts. Everyone has their own principles. And honestly, and damn, right on again, Appleseed, there is no universal rationale. There really fucking isn't. Because everybody has their own fucking principles and beliefs and facts and evidence and proof and all this other shit that they need. And they live their lives accordingly. And again, if we all can just accept it, that your beliefs, your facts, your morals is going to be different from mine, and accept that just the way it is. I won't try to change you. You don't try to change me. We can move past so much bullshit. We can move past so much fucking shit that we deal with on a regular fucking basis. We really fucking could. We've been arguing fucking gay rights for how fucking long? They're still arguing it. For what? We have so much other shit that we need to worry about in this world as a fucking, not even just country, this fucking world. We have so much shit we need to worry about. We're arguing about this shit for what? You know, if you're not gay, you don't want to get married to another person of the same sex, fucking don't. But don't stop someone else from doing it, because they don't have the same beliefs as you do. So why are you imposing your beliefs on this couple who want to get, they feel like they're in love? Fuck it, let them be in love, let them get married. Who the fuck cares? And for majority of the Christians and the fucking nutbag Republicans, there's not even a fucking fetus or a child to argue about. It's like literally nothing to argue about. There's not life begins at conception, because there is no fucking conception. It's just two people who want to be together, and they want to do whatever those people do when they're together. Why do you fucking care? And the problem is, they care because it's their moral principle to care. And it's their moral principle to dictate other people's life. Well, from me personally, and I can say this to anyone who feels this way, fuck you and your moral principle. Because it's not about you. I find it so ironic and so amazing that people hate arrogant, self-conceited, self-absorbed assholes, and they always turn into one when it feels like they are in the right. No, it's nothing to, that person's life has nothing to do with you. Why the fuck do you care so much? If two midgets want to get married, why do you care? If a midget want to marry a 7 foot tall guy, why do you fucking care? Who they're not, as long as both of them are of legal age, which is set forth by the state. Why the fuck do you care? And once we get past this shit, then we can move on to bigger issues that actually matter to people, like fucking homeless people on the street, like kids starving to fucking death, like children who don't have medication that they need and they need this fucking medication. Our government is so wrapped up in fucking nonsense that literally people are starving to death around the world. Don't we have bigger shit to fry? Don't we have more shit to do than worry about just stupid ass shit that doesn't affect anyone but two fucking people? Well, obviously more than two people, but the two people who are involved in a relationship. You don't want your kids to see gay people? Okay, then don't take them anywhere in the fucking animal kingdom because there are gay animals everywhere. Keep your kid in the fucking house, put him in a fucking bubble, and that's fine. But don't try to dictate the world because of what you feel is right, because that's bullshit. Because I always say this to the 100th power. If someone else brought their religious beliefs here, like if Muslims brought their religious beliefs here, and they tried to dictate and put in the Muslim, I can't remember the fucking name of it, but if they tried to make us live all by the Muslim code and the Muslim law, everyone would have a fucking cow. People would lose their fucking mind. Don't put your religion on me. Don't press your religion on me. That is your religion. We have a freedom of religion. I do not have to live by your religious code. But we do that shit all the time with other shit. And I'm sorry. That fucking irritates the shit out of me. It just, leave people alone. Again, 3 principles I think everyone can agree upon and live by. Do unto others, accept the consequences of your actions, and take responsibility for your actions. That's it. Everything else, who the fuck cares? Whether you're supposed to play 3 times a day or 7 times a day, that's your shit. You can do whatever you want to do. It doesn't affect me. So I'm not gonna try to pass laws or try to dictate how you feel or get on here and clown you for, having to pray multiple times. Who the fuck cares? If you want to have sex with a fucking 70-year-old woman and you're 35, who the fuck cares? As long as it's consensual, who cares? There's a lot of nasty shit that I personally look at and be like, that is fucking disgusting. But it's not my place to tell people what they can and can't do with their bodies. I've seen some fucking video where this woman had to be goddamn like 600-700 pounds, and the guy's like 150 pounds. And I'm like, that is the nastiest shit I've ever seen in my life. Who would want to fuck someone that big? I mean, it's like he's fucking Jabba the Hutt. Who would want to do that? And if there's a law, any law that should be passed, you should not be that fat and have sex. It is absolutely disgusting. But it's not my business. If he wants to fuck her, if he finds her attractive, and he wants to have sex with her, then great. Have fucking sex with her. Seriously, do whatever you want to do. Have as much sex as you want. Who the fuck cares? And I think if we ever can get to this point, and this is actually the goal that we should strive for as a fucking humanity. If we can ever get to this fucking point, this world will be so much fucking better for everyone involved. Everyone. Because we can get to a place and a point where we don't give a shit what the neighbor does as long as that neighbor is not fucking with us or fucking with someone else, fucking up someone else's rights, fucking up someone else's day. Who the fuck cares? Alright. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go on a rant, but this just irritates me. Alright, Mr. Brian, what is your question? You have been very talkative today. I've missed a whole rack of comments, but hold on. I'm scroll back up a little bit. I missed everything, so it's been a lot. Very insane, Mr. Appleseed. All right, what's your question? Before I go, can I just say one thing? And I don't know how many people are you. I don't know how many of you are actually in the United States. But if anyone has voted for Hillary, can I just ask you fucking why? That bitch is the worst candidate I have ever met in my life. I if anyone has actually seen the debates or watched the debates, she literally she has no grounds on any fucking thing. I mean, she is just the worst fucking person ever. Oh my gosh. All right. I'm sorry. Let me read your question. Do that is our right to decide for ourselves. You don't care what your name. All right, come on, Brian. Let's go. Chop chop. But yes, I just have to say before I get out of here, she's the worst. I mean, good God, she's the worst. And I know some people hate Trump, and y'all can hate Trump for whatever y'all want to hate Trump for. But whatever you hate Trump for, you can hate Hillary for the exact same fucking reasons. I mean, literally the exact same reasons. She's an arrogant asshole who feels like her shit doesn't stink. She has literally done nothing and claiming wild success. She flip flops on every fucking thing, even to the point where she throws her husband under the bus. I mean, it's so fucking. She is the worst bitch. Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She is, um, she's the worst bitch I've ever seen. Bernie, I'm digging Bernie. I know some people hate Bernie because he's a socialist, whatever. Don't worry, if he was to ever get in there, I don't think any of his shit would ever pass in the Congress that we have. Probably the same way with Trump. If Trump was to ever make it in there, none of his shit would ever pass. Which is probably why people are voting for Hillary and want Hillary, because Hillary will be the same as Obama, and Hillary is all in the pockets of everyone already. So she can probably get something done. But what she's going to get done, who the fuck knows? And whatever she gets done, don't worry, because in 8 years, she's going to deny she ever did that shit any fucking way and claim that somebody else did it and it's not her fault. That bitch is so fucking irritating. I can't believe it. One of the things that really pissed me off, and I'm sorry to keep going, but I have to say this. I don't know if any of you guys seen the debate that was asking her about the whole now she's pushing prison reform because that's the hottest topic. She needs prison reform. She wants prison reform. And they were asking her like pretty much your husband actually started this whole shit because when he was in office, you guys built more prisons, you put more police on the street. There was like you was in strong support of him doing this, and her whole thing about we need to go after these super predators on the streets and talk about urban gang members and all this other shit. So they were saying like they was really like digging in her shit like pretty much. How are you now for prison reform when you pretty much you started the whole problem with loading up the prisons? And her response was like, "Well, that wasn't me. That was my husband who signed that bill." And it's like, are you fucking like how do you do that? Yes, technically your husband did sign it, but weren't you the one making speeches about how great it was? And weren't you the one, backing your husband and saying how wonderful it was and how, we're going to do all these great things? Are you fucking serious? Like, this bitch has the shortest, it's not even the shortest memory. People laugh at Trump because Trump could come out on a Tuesday and say something, and then literally on Friday say something completely different and act like he never said the first thing. That's the same shit Hillary does. The exact same shit. So everyone who's like, fuck Trump, Trump's a fucking liar. Really? You will vote for fucking Hillary who does the exact same shit as Trump? Alright, I'm sorry. Yes, ego. Hold on. Alright, let me go back to the question. By your understanding, you don't want to be able to do. Why should we have to search? Oh, we're back to this shit, seriously, Brian. Okay. Here's the deal. I'm not. No one has to tell him what to do. But again, it's his fucking job. If it's your job to do something, you should be able to do your job without worrying about something individual or something isolated. Again, we're not asking him to break his moral code. We're asking him to do his fucking job. That's it. That's it. That's all anyone's asking him to do. Again, if someone came in here and said, "Hey, Mr. Cake Man, can we put cake on your body and let me and my husband eat it off?" He can say no. He has a right to refuse that. But if someone comes in and say, "Hey, I just want a fucking cake," that's his fucking job. He's a fucking baker. Do your job. Just like the lady at the place where she was she wasn't assigning merge licenses. She wasn't assigning merge licenses to gay couples. Bitch, that's your job. That's what you are paid to do. If you don't want a job of baking cakes, don't fucking bake cakes. If you don't want a job of assigning merge licenses, then don't fucking assign merge licenses. Again, I'm not asking you to do anything with your moral code. If you feel like it's wrong to be gay, then you don't fucking be gay. But when it comes down to business, business is completely fucking separate. Completely fucking separate. And that's where I stand at. Now, we may have to, it seems like we're going to disagree on this, and that's fine. Um, we're just going to have to disagree on this one because I'm running like really overtime. But again, the point is, it's your fucking job. We're not asking you to do anything outside of what you advertise that you want to do. That's it. If you're saying you bake cakes, I come in to bake a cake and you say, no, I don't bake cakes, technically that's false fucking advertising. You're running a bakery that don't sell cakes. While advertising, you sell fucking cakes. And again, discrimination, we've already established this shit 50 fucking years ago or so. It's wrong. And anyone, and Brian, I understand where you're coming from. That it's his company. He should have the right to do whatever he wants to do. He should have his right to do whatever he wants to do, and that's fine. But again, how far do we take it? Because you're stopping at just lesbian couples. What if someone took it to the extreme? What if we went back to the old days of saying, well, I only want to serve white people. So if any black person come in here, fuck you, nigger, get out. If any Spanish person come in here, fuck you, spick, get out. If any Asian come in here, fuck you, chink, get out. Oh, white person come in here, yay, I'll serve you. Is that acceptable? Because honestly, I thought we moved past that shit. Now we're literally going back. Take out the word gay. Just take out the word gay. Put anything else in there. Do you think it would be justified? And that's where I'm pretty sure the problem is. And matter of fact, that's what I know the problem is. Yes, you are an owner of a business. You have a right to. Now, if you walk in, and again, if it's against your moral code, that's what we're talking about. If it's against your moral code, if they're asking you to do something against your moral code, then yes, you have a right to refusal. And I agree with that. And again, if somebody came in and I called a plumber or called somebody to fix my cabinets and I say, hey, hand me that baseball bat. This bitch lost her mind. I'm about to knock her out. He has a right to say fucking no. He has a right to leave the premises. That's fine. If someone comes in and is very disrespectful to you, and very angry and out and just like fuck you, do this and do that, and you have a right to deny service based on the way that they treated you. But if someone comes in polite and pleasant and just asks you to bake a fucking cake, or hey, merge license lady, can you give me a merge license? If it's your fucking job, you do your fucking job. If you don't want to be in that business because of the clientele that may come in there, you need to find another fucking job. And the problem is, you're never going to get rid of everyone you don't like. You're just not. If you hate racists, then you may have to service a fucking racist because it's your fucking job. Now, if they become abusive verbally or physically, then you have a right to, refusal because you have a reason. Your reason shouldn't be, well, I don't agree with your lifestyle, so fuck you. That's where we're at. And yes, it is discriminatory. Yes, we have so many laws against this, it's not even funny. They have a job to do. Do your fucking job. If you don't want to own a business that bakes cakes and you may have a gay person come in there, then get out the fucking business. And I'm sorry, can I just ask people, and I seriously doubt anyone in here is down there, but why don't anyone live in fucking Mississippi anymore? Mississippi is the most backwater fucking state I've ever even thought to imagine. If I'm not mistaken, and I believe it's either Mississippi or Alabama, they just passed a law, like literally recently, and I'm not talking maybe in the last 10 years, that it's okay to have interracial couples. It's okay to have interracial marriage. And I'm talking about like, it was like 2000, I want to say 2000, between 2000 and 2010, they just passed a fucking law saying it was okay to have interracial couples. Like, why does anyone still live in fucking Mississippi? I just don't even fucking understand it. Why does anyone live there? It is the most backwatered bullshit state ever fucking created. And they still act like and still think it's fucking 1920 and they can just do random shit that they want to do. And I can't even say it's just the fucking government because the people there are voting these assholes in there to do shit like this. So it's the fucking state. Alright, I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just catching up on the comments. I didn't realize it was this many going on. But yeah, I mean, honestly, that's where I guess we're gonna just disagree on. Um, that's where we're just honestly gonna disagree on. Hold on. Oh, another question, dude. I really have to go. I'm getting tired as hell. Um, yeah, you really can't make it up, John, at all. I mean, it's like seriously, if you just start writing down, which I started doing, which is why the church actually started, is because I started writing down all this stupid shit, and it's like you can't make this shit up. You really can't make this shit up. And if I told you, if I went to some other fucking country and told them of this state, they would think it was like some, little fictional place that I just thought of. It's like they would be like, "There's no way that fucking place still exists." Like it's impossible. It's just no way it still exists. But it is, and it's fucking there. Oh, fucking! I don't understand this. Literally, if that state wanted to succeed, please, by all means, I will write up the papers myself. Get them the fuck out. 49 is fine with me. Um, no problem, Dragon Man. Yeah, man, I have to go. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for all the comments. It actually was really good. It was a really good conversation. I'm glad we got it in there. Hopefully, everyone got their point across. Like I say, oh, dear God, don't say that. You're going to start a whole other conversation with this guy. Come on, Johnny Appleseed. You're killing me here. But no, seriously, thank everyone so much for everything. I'm going to try to do another topic next week and keep this shit going. Yeah, just get them the fuck out. I'm serious. That everyone would be fine with that. Like seriously, just you want to be your own country and have a negative fucking budget, and all your people live on fucking corn and string beans, whatever the fuck they eat. Do that. Just fuck you. I just that state is just so fucking idiotic. It's not even funny. As a matter of fact, they can take Florida too, because apparently they can't do shit right. Um. Yeah, thank you guys so much for everything. Seriously, I'm glad you guys were listening. Thanks for watching. Oh, I'm watching. There's a fucking black screen. Fuck you too, guy. um, but seriously, thank everyone for everything. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. This is St. Patrick. I will have a video up on Monday. I don't know what the fucking topic is going to be, but hopefully you guys will be around and we should have a good time. Good night to everyone. This is St. Patrick. I'm out.